changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration. It's Tip Tuesday, when we talk about an easy-to-implement, life-changing tip from one of our stories. Today, I want to talk about a woman named Amy Stout, who wrote a story for Chicken Soup for the Soul, Reboot Your Life, called Becoming Real. Amy had a good friend named Jill for many years. They were young mothers together, and they cared a lot about each other's families. And then Jill died suddenly after having a massive seizure while driving. Amy actually watched Jill being removed from life support in the hospital. Jill left 3 little children behind, and the whole situation was a huge shock to Amy. And it caused Amy to realize that she had not been living in the present. She had put her life on hold for many years while trying to become a mother, and now that she was one, she hadn't done the work of rebooting her life and getting back to living again. Jill's death emphasized for Amy how fleeting life can be and how important it is to live every moment to the fullest. She realized that she had actually lived most of her life trying to make other people happy. She says, I was participating in activities and serving on committees that I didn't even enjoy being a part of because I felt intense pressure to be the person others wanted me to be. The film of my life was playing in front of my own eyes, and I didn't even recognize the woman in those scenes. Who was I? So Amy began making difficult but positive changes. She came up with a list of questions that she had to ask herself before she said yes to anything. And these questions fell into 3 main categories. First category, is this something I want to do? Is this the way I want to spend my time? Second category of questions, would it be appropriate for me or my family to attend this? Does this activity line up with our family goals, our family mission? Does it reflect the values that we wish to own? Is this something we are passionate about? Is it the best use of our time? And then her third category of questions, do I feel I can make a difference? Is there a service opportunity? It took Amy a little while to figure out all these questions, to decide who she was and what she wanted out of life. But she realized that she hadn't been a mother for most of her adult life, and now she needed to reprioritize everything. She had to figure out exactly how she wanted to handle all her roles as a wife, a mom, a volunteer, an employee, a writer, and a friend. And she had to figure out which relationships, roles, and responsibilities she wanted to maintain and how. The whole thing was a big undertaking, like drawing a whole new roadmap for her life. I think it's something that most of us have never done. But once Amy finished this big project and all the self-discovery and honest thinking that it required, she knew exactly where she wanted to focus her time and energy. She says that doing this hard work and developing these questions and this new way of analyzing opportunities has given her a new freedom. She says it's a wonderful thing to truly experience freedom. Knowing who I am and what I stand for is a powerful tool. So we always put a relevant quote at the beginning of the stories we publish, and the one we chose for this story was by James Dean, who of course died very young. And the quote is, dream as if you'll live forever, live as if you'll die today. And that ties into this whole concept of figuring out what's really important to you so that every single day you can say yes to what matters to you and no to the things that really don't matter. And that is really a cornerstone of our philosophy at Chicken Soup for the Soul. And that's why we published our book about the joy of less, about decluttering your calendar back in the spring. And that's why I have more than one chapter on this in my upcoming book, Simply Happy. Because figuring out what matters means saying no to things that other people want to put on your calendar, no to the toxic people in your life, and no to jobs and volunteer work that don't make you feel passionate and purposeful. Amy figured out when her friend died that she needed to reevaluate everything in her life. Hopefully, the rest of us can get there without something awful prompting our own reboots. Well, tomorrow is Wow Wednesday, and we're not going to have any lessons tomorrow. We're going to have a fun story about a woman who listened to her gut feeling and actually avoided being at 3 different bank robberies over many years. I'm Amy Newmark. Thanks for listening today. And if you want to read more about the book I mentioned, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Reboot Your Life, please visit our website, chickensoup.com.